Hello und willkommen zu Fight House. Ich bin Patrick McCorry. Now we switch over to English. I am here with the former welterweight champion, maybe still kind of, the uncrowned champ, Ian Surdu. How are you, my man?
Still and still, my man. Hello, hello. Nice
How
to
you
see you.
how you feeling? We're a couple weeks away from the fight now. How you feeling? About 2 weeks from today, you might be feeling pretty good with a win. So, how you feeling about the fight 2 weeks out?
Oh, it's already 2 weeks old, brother. I'm so happy because this camp is fucking hell of camp. Hard camp, hard work all the time. So I'm happy that my camp is going down. Slowly, we are going not so hard trainings. We are focused on weight cut now. So yeah, I'm happy. I can't wait.
And training in Poland and Coast MMA, who have you been working with most? Obviously, after Ronnie's last fight, he probably had to take some time off before he could get in the sparring rounds with you, right?
Yeah, no, he get some time off, but at the same time, in last 2 weeks, 2 weeks ago, he was for a last two hard sparring session to me here in Poland. He was 2 weeks here, so I really had a good time with him. But in the same time, I have a lot of guys which they arrived for a camp. I have Wawrzyniec Bartnik. He fight yesterday. He defeated his title in Fan, and he defeated hell of timing, brother. He get the right punch, and the other guy was knockout. So another group from Lithuania or Latvia, something like that. The same guys are was here. So I had a lot of fighters. Plus Janur, who all the time arrived to us in gym for a sparring session in Friday. Oscar Szczepaniak, who is a KSW fighter. So I had a really great camp and a lot of sparring partners this time.
And what do you feel about the matchup with Amiran Gogoladze? How do you feel it's going to go? You guys were supposed to fight not long ago. You've already had a face-off with him in the cage, so you've already had a chance to kind of size him up, right?
Yeah, no, 2 times we had to fight to each other, but first time I get injured, second time he get injured. So unfortunately, didn't was the fight, but hopefully to this time we will get it done because we have our unfinished business, and of course I can't wait. So I'm ready for 15 minutes of war, brother. I'm ready, but in the same time, in that case, it will be only one sniper, and I don't think so. It will be he.
So what kind of fight do you expect from him? Where do you see your advantages lying in this fight?
From him, I expect that he will be aggressive like all the time. He's going forward. He's trying to look. He all the time looking for the finish. Uh, he's aggressive. He kick a lot. He punch that left straight punch all the time. So he's explosive. A lot of movement. A lot of footwork. But in the same time he never fight with the guy which is the same weight class, which is the same bigger like him, because last three, no, less can say three fights he win in octagon, because not only because of his skill, but at the same time because of gabarits, because he was very big around a lot of guys. But at the same time, I don't think so he will have some advantages on the weight. And the same allonge. I have the same allonge in arm. So it will be a great fight, brother. It will be a great fight.
Yeah.
I'm ready for 15 minutes of hard work.
And obviously, we touched on it before. The former champ, right? You never lost the belt in a fight. You lost it on the scales. We've heard the story of your kidneys failing during the weight cut. It wasn't your fault. So, is there anything now? As your first fight back, has anything changed in how you plan to do the weight cut, or is it just we're gonna go and see what happens, and we'll go how we normally do it?
I changed it. I do a lot of blood tests now. So, I check my body. I all the time. Tomorrow, for example, I have the same blood test to see what if it's all good. So if something will happen, we still have a time to change something. So my weight cut is going like always. It's going good. We are the same in the same timing. So all is good. I didn't change so much a lot of things, but of course after the fights, I all the time try to change some things to be better. So this time is not excluded.
And this is kind of like a home game for you, right? Training in Poland, you live in Poland, Ankos, and now you get to fight in Poland. So how different is it now? Also, you don't have to worry about traveling during fight week while you're trying to make weight. It's I don't know how far section is for you, but I don't think it's very far. It's gonna
No,
be.
it's not far away. It's like a 2 hour and a half from Poznan. So I'm so glad that Octagon offered me the fight here in Szczecin for the first event in Poland, because when I hear first time they announced the event, my think it was, yes, I have to fight here because the people are knowing me here. So I have a story here. I live in Poland for 6 years. I talk in Polish. I talk in also. For me, it's a honor to represent Ankos and to represent Octagon for the first event in Poland. So I think so. The fans are waiting for.
And the fans will be loud, obviously. They've got a couple of their legends fighting with Michał Materla, Thomas Narkun, and then you're joining into what kind of reception are you expecting? You're expecting to get a big, nice reception, right?
Yes, of course. All the time when I go to the fights, I think so that fans are love my styles, and they are going there not only for the fights but for the show too. So in my fights, I think so. I do a good job out of the cage, and the same time when I go in the cage, all the times all the fans know that they can blink on my fights because they can lose the fight. So for sure it will be a lot of bombs in the cage. So. I think so. The fans they will like the card and the atmosphere in Octagon. It is different than KSW and all events here, and for sure. Octagon, if you see now, in my opinion, the card in Szczecin is one of the hardest and the strongest fight card in whole year now. So I think so. The fans they will come, and they for sure they will be satisfied.
And I think I know the answer to this question, but if you win this fight, what do you want next?
Brother, everyone knows about. I want my title back, so for sure. Octagon didn't say. Nobody say from Octagon that this is a contender fight, But in the same time, everyone knows that who in this fight is going for the Brito. So hopefully that Brito clear my belt, make some new and nice pictures, and bring me back after the fight.
So obviously, Brito, you fought him before. You knocked him out in Munich with one of the craziest head kicks I've ever seen. It was my personal knockout of the year. And then you lose the belt on the scale, and he fights your teammate. Obviously, he defeats Ronnie. So it makes it a little bit more personal than just what would have been a normal rematch, right?
Of course, brother. It's more personally because, but in the same time, that whole situation in welterweight division, it was a great timing for Ronnie, because if still I was the champion there, he didn't have a chance to fight for the belt. So now he get a chance. He fight. Unfortunately, he lost, but it was a good lesson, a good experience. So now I have to go back and show to everyone that I'm the real king there. So. He's not Brito, he's not Gogoladze, he's nobody else. So I am that.
And you're a guy that likes to take a bit of time between fights. You're one of the bigger guys in the division. So ideally, you win this fight, no damage. When would you like to have that potential title fight? Because, I reckon Kike would be ready anytime as well.
I don't know, brother. About the next fight. Hopefully, it will be without injury, without all. But at the end of the year, I think so. It will be next fight, because I fight plus minus one time in 6 7 months. So for me, it's okay because I do a lot of weight cuts. So hopefully, it will be without injury, without any seriously problems. So yeah, at the end of the year, I'm ready to fight next time.
And just let's get more into Poland. I mean, it's an exciting time for Octagon. Obviously, for years, Poland's been dominated by KSW. Now Octagon comes into it. How do you see this expansion going? Are there any cities you'd like to see Octagon go into as well?
Octagon market, Polish market, it's a really hard market, because fans are love KSW, fans are knowing KSW, and but in the same time, KSW didn't have some other promotions which they put some problem them, So, but now when Octagon now is the biggest promotion in Europe, and they come to them. than soil. I think so. It's more about orgoli and all stuff like that. So as I can saw, KSW start more promote them, get them events and all stuff like that. But at the same time, Octagon, I think so. They are doing great work, and not only because of fights, because now, as I can say, that we have one of the greatest card in the whole year here in Szczecin, but in the same time, um, Octagon have an advantage about the atmosphere in area, the about fans, about a lot of small things, connection with the fans, like I don't know. Power, or all stuff like that, like in the NBA, or a lot of things like entertainment. So I think so. Polish people will like that.
Yeah. And when you look ahead over the year, obviously you said end of the year kind of time, there's a certain stadium show happening in Germany, the Frankfurt Stadium. Is that one that you would have your eye on, or is it
Why not,
unlikely?
my brother? Why not? Why not? Because people in Germany, they already know me after the fight with Brito, so I think so. It will be a great opportunity for me to fight in the biggest stage on around the world. I fight for the first event in history of Octagon, for the biggest event in history of Octagon in Prague. On the stadium of 30,000 people. So why not at 60,000 people? So for me, it will be just a honor. So it will be really great.
What do you think would be the biggest difference for you fighting on that stage? You fought in front of 30,000 people, and I'm sure for you that was insane, right? Double that
Yeah,
now. Double
that was
that is
great.
is insane, right?
Yeah, I know. I all the time say that I was a football player before, so I was. My dream was to play in football on the big stage, like a full stadium and all stuff like that. But when I step in the cage, and 30,000 people look at only to you, that's insane. That's something bigger. But 60,000 people, I think so. That will be far. That will be crazy. So yeah, who knows? Who knows? Maybe Octagon propose me the opportunity. So I never say never. So never say no. If they will propose me, for sure I will be ready for that, Frankfurt.
And what you've done a lot in your career, you've been in the Tips for Game Changer tournament twice. You've won the title in Octagon, which is the biggest belt in Europe you can win. What are your goals for your career in general? Do you have a list, like a bucket list of things that you'd like to tick off?
Now the biggest thing in my career is get the title back, and just I try to enjoy my career. I try to enjoy the time in gym. I try to enjoy the all process, because I know that all process it not will be a lot of years. So I try to enjoy every second in the cage, out of the cage, with all meetings, all interviews, and all stuff like that. So this I love my job, so I just try to enjoy my job every day, and hopefully it will be long as possible. So that is the biggest dream. I brother, I live my dream every day, because maybe 90% of the fighters, they are dreaming to fight on the same stage. They are dreaming to fight in octagon. They are dreaming to fight with the best guys in around the world. Of course, like a fighter, I want to go to UFC, but who knows? I never say that I don't want to UFC. I want, of course, I want to compete with the best guys around the world. But at the same time, I have to do my job the best. I have to win. I have to go forward, and maybe someday it will come offer from the UFC. So yeah,
And how do you predict this fight going with Amiran Gogoladze?
brother, I said I'm ready for the 15 minutes of the hard work, and as I saw his fights last fight, he's looking all the time for the finish, and but in the same time he's winning on the points. So I'm looking to winning on the points, but if I will have a chance, you know me, if I feel the blood, I will go to end the fight. So yeah, as I can say, don't blink on my fights, brother, because
Yeah.
you can lose the fight.
And in the main event of this card is obviously a very fascinating special rules fight with, Michael Materla fighting in his hometown against the German Celtic guy you've probably had your eyes on as a potential opponent. So how do you think that fight's going to go? And what do you think of the special rules format? Is that something that would interest you, maybe having some special rules fights?
Why not, my brother? Why not? I love stand up, so for me it's far. It's great, but who knows what Octagon plans have for me. At the same time, I have two fights on the contract, so after this fight, I think so we will stay on the table and we will talking about. But of course, if someone want fight with me in special rules, I'm happy. So I'm open for all opportunities. About the main event, it's a great main event, great matchup in my opinion because Jungwirth is a legend already in German, and at the same time maybe he's not have some KO power in his hands, but he have a big heart, and he all the time is going forward. Matella the same, it's a lion heart as everyone knows, so he fight in his hometown. There it will be a hell of fun. So I think so that it will be a great fight. Hopefully it will. I will enjoy after my fight. Hopefully I will enjoy the fight with all arena. So I think so it will be a great fight. Who will win? Who knows? Maybe Matella by knockout, maybe Junger by points, or maybe by knockout. Never say never.
Yeah. Well, it would have been funny if you accidentally said submission, right? Like, because obviously it's a it's no sign.
Yeah. Standing submission, my brother.
Could you imagine if in that fight Christian Umbria just jumps on a guillotine and just says, "Fuck it,
Wow.
I'm going
But,
for it."
but can you imagine that in that fight, Hubert will go for the takedown?
He's done it before, but it would be so funny if he just all of a sudden just decided to grapple. But
Yeah, that's
what
great.
I'm interested to see is like if one of those guys get hurt, in MMA, a lot of the guys will panic shoot when they get hurt, they'll shoot on a takedown. What will they
You
do in
know,
that
on
situation?
the,
Because their instinct, they've had 50 fights. That instinct is to shoot for the takedown. So I'm really
yeah,
interested to see what happens
everyone,
there.
brother. The best strikers, when they are hurt, they're going for the takedown. So, that's the instinct, as you can say, as you say. So, yeah, that's. I can waiting for that. I can see you will go for the takedowns.
We're both
But
going to be hoping
but
for it just
don't
for the
but don't
fun.
remember about Matella because he's a black belt.
That's true. That's true. He goes for the takedown, gets stuck in a triangle or something.
Yeah, that's crazy.
That'll be
That's
funny,
crazy.
man. Look, I really appreciate the time, and I won't hold up too much of your time, obviously, because you're a busy man yourself. So if you want to, tell fans where they can follow you on social media, where they can buy your excellent merch, if you want to send a message to your fans, whatever you want to do, here's your platform.
Thank you guys. Thank you guys for following me. If you wanna follow more, follow me on Instagram, Surdu, on YouTube, be on Surdu, the same. I have a own vlog. I post a lot of things about my merch. You have it on Instagram, link in bio. So enjoy the merch. Now in this week we will drop some new drop for the stretching. So just thank you for you all guys. So as I can say more, see you in stretching and don't blink on my fight.
Thank you so much for the time, Ian.